Hello there folks, it's me RGB from RJBTV and welcome back to the channel where we are going to continue with a couple more of those Brain against Burgersasu games, and right now we're going to game number 4. The score so far is Light has won 3 games and Burgersasu has not won a single one of them. You can see there at the top, the score is pretty bad for Burgersasu. He's been trying very hard, but Light has just been outplaying him with his execution. His attention to detail has just been superior so far. But now it's, of course, Burgersasu's turn to play in the Protoss. We had a Light on the Protoss in most of the game so far, but now we are switching things around. And we can see that Burgersasu brings Protoss to the table here on the red Protoss on the top left of the map. And then we have Light on the white Protoss. The white Terran on the bottom right of the map, and he is a Terran professional player. So this might imply that we will be seeing some real skills coming out from this guy, because this is the race he plays professionally. This is the race he's won 2 World Championships on in the ASL and the KSL, and this is the race on which he has been considered for the past 5 to 6 years to be a top 5 player in the world, pretty much at any point in time in those 5 years. So he's pretty much always considered a top 5 player out of all the active players in the professional community. So yeah, I've got very high hopes for his Terran, very high hopes. Will he deliver or will he fall short? He went for a supply depot on 8 and a barracks on 9 and another barracks on 11, and he's going to scout with an SCV, so he might stay on double barracks, might go for a triple barracks, but it kind of depends. Is he going to go for the triple barracks after this barracks finishes up, or is he going to stay on 2? Burgersasu goes for a nexus first, after a pylon and a forge. You're going to build a choke there in the front pylon, then a gateway there back at home. So at the moment, we can already see that the early game is likely not going to be one that involves a lot of action. Right? We're not going to be seeing a whole lot of action. We have an early scout there from Light. He scouts the middle first to see if there's something like gateways on the middle, which is very common for Protoss to do. Although in the Korean community, it is much less common than it would be in the foreign or the Western community, where a mid-gate Protoss is many times more common than it is in the Korean community. Because in the Korean community, for some reason, it just doesn't have the same rate of success as it does in the West. And it might come back to the fact that in the foreign scene, they play a lot more random against random. So they don't know if they're playing against a Protoss, a Terran, or a Zerg. And the mid-gate is pretty strong if the opponent doesn't know whether you're Protoss, Zerg, or Terran. If it's Zerg against Protoss and they have a mid-gate right in front of their base, right here, then yeah, the Zerg is going to suffer pretty badly because the Zealots are going to be coming in from a very short distance. But anyway, back to the game. We don't have a mid-gate, we have a double nexus, and we have a double command center from Light. That is something you can do when you go for a double barracks, is because you do not invest in a third barracks, so that's 150 minerals extra, and because you do not invest in the extra marines it would cost you to produce from the extra barracks, you can build this command center in the back quite easily, quite early, and attempt to stay on about the same amount of workers as the Protoss, because, well, he's now on 21 and Light's on 18. Command Center is finished up, so he can like stay behind on Burgersasu by like 3, maybe even 2 SCVs for the remainder of the game if he keeps his production up consistently without missing a beat. And of course, Burgersasu is going for a robotics into a Citadel of Adun, and we will probably see a second robotics because he built the first robotics before the first Citadel of Adun. You only see Dark Templar build orders if they get Citadel, Robo, Templar's Archive. You almost never see Dark Templars if they go Robo, Citadel, and another Robo, because then you would need a third gas, and he only has 2 gas, which of course means it's going to be double Robo, shuttle speed, and reavers coming out from Burgersasu. You might get Zealot speed though, something I very often see him do. Not getting it yet. Might just go, oh yeah, there's Zealot speed and level 1 attack. And then he will get a support bay. Sometimes he's a little bit slow on the support bay because he's fighting on the middle there, trying to chase the Marines away. They were trying to contain Burgersasu, or at least attack anything that tries to leave the base. And he's putting them right back there. He's putting them right back there in the front. So anything that leaves gets attacked and gets spotted. Got a support beyond the way there in the back, and we have no cannons because he doesn't need cannons yet. He has vision on the corner, doesn't have vision on the other corner, but realistically, this would be the corner that a Terran would fly a barracks in from. That's why he got the probe there on the corner. He might build a pylon there for vision. But yeah, a Terran at this point in time cannot yet have a starport with a dropship and a tank for a tank drop. So there's no reason to have cannons yet. You usually get the cannons in the back at around 6 minutes, maybe 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That is usually the realistic timing for a tank drop. But he does have one cannon, just to be safe, just to be sure. He at least has something in the back to protect himself. So we got pylons in the corner there from Burgersasu. Light is getting turrets on the sides already. These turrets are quite early, because the shuttle cannot arrive at 5 minutes or at 5:30. Usually the shuttle can arrive at around 5:50 if it's the fastest possible Reaver shuttle, or it arrives at like 6:15. And yeah, that's a lot of turrets quite early. A lot of turrets quite early. You could have started the turrets, I think, about, I'd say 20 seconds later, and the turrets would still have been about right on time. But he perhaps is going for more turrets because he doesn't have a lot of Marines. He stayed on double barracks. Usually double barracks means that your Marine count is going to be very, very low. Which also means it's going to be pretty difficult to defend against this frontal attack from Light. That's a lot of Zealots, got a Reaver there in the sky. If Light misplaced this in any way whatsoever, he will lose so many Marines, he might not be able to defend against the next attack. The wall in the front there does a great job. Wall in the front does an excellent job in keeping the Zealots away. The Reaver was late. It was slow. The Reaver should actually have unloaded here and start attacking the supply depots and break open the wall before attacking, so that the Zealots can immediately jump on the tank or the bunkers, and the Reaver can just follow the Zealots, let the Zealots take damage, and attack the bunkers. So that's actually a mistake from Burgersasu that most people probably wouldn't catch on to, but this buys Light a lot of time while he was on a very low amount of units. So he's actually not getting punished for having very few units at this point in time. Burgersasu decides to use this moment in time to get another 2 gas in the back. So we got 4 gas, we got 53 probes, 47 there from Light. Got a Temple's Archive now, he's getting a couple more gateways as well. Let me just have the production tab back on the top. So 7 gateways, 4 robos. A lot of cells there in the front, level 1 attack finished up. Getting level 2 attack, getting Dragoon range. Shuttle speed is already finished, getting Storm, queuing up a couple of High Templars. He's planning on just switching over into probably a pure shuttle dropping style, but he might also try to drop the shuttles behind the front wall here, behind the wall in the front, behind the depots, and try to kill the tanks, and then maybe hit the bunkers and try to break through. But it really depends on how large and how big his attack is going to be. At the moment, I would say that the most likely drop comes in, unload on the bottom corner, because there were so many turrets, Marines, and raids in the sky. He had to unload on the bottom corner. He's going to try to kill the entire bottom corner and maybe kill some units. He's going to have to crawl the Reavers within range of the SCVs. Tank there, one more shot there on the Reaver gets the tank. The target firing with the tank was really good there. It was pure target firing. And he does clear out the entire bottom corner, so that's now wide open for future attacks. But he might just attack from the other corner, because the one mind game you can play with your opponent is when you take down all the defenses on one corner, it draws a lot of units to that corner until that corner has been rebuilt. So instead of that, he might just go for the other corner here, which is more fortified, but might not be the corner that Light is looking at. But as we can see, Burgersasu goes to the bottom right, and he got scanned by Light, and Light just so happens to find the shuttles. That's just pure game sense. He scanned the choke point, scanned the middle, saw the shuttles, and now we see exactly what I was talking about. We see a drop coming from the strong fortified side of the base. Starts unloading the High Templars and the Zealots are in the base. SCVs are running to save, trying to get safe and sound. Loses 7 SCVs. The remaining SCVs made it to safety and saved lives. So it's 51 against 74. That's a great worker link there for Burgersasu. But as you can see, Light has triple command center. He can catch up. He can make a comeback, make a return to a healthy economy. He's mining a lot of gas at the moment, but that's largely because he went for a barrack lift build order, where he lifts the barracks very early to go for starports and factories. It does bother me a little bit that this is not perfectly aligned, but light is good enough for that to not be a problem for him. So on 4 robos, we still own 1 single fort, a couple more cannons in the back. Not really well protected against tank drops. Like, tank drops here would be amazing, would really hurt him quite a bit. Raids are on the hunt. He saw the shuttles leave with the scan and scanned again to see if they're on the bottom or the top side. And he doesn't find the shuttles, actually. Raids trying to finish off the cannons before the cannons are a little bit too strong to take down. Target fires them, shuttles still waiting on the bottom corner, goes in at the top side, gets spotted, has to unload. Marines are sniping the shuttles, gets most of the shuttles. One temple does unload, now going over the bottom corner. Really good flying. Light is actually missing this drop flying in. Temples unloading, has the storm, misses the storm. He actually had a chance to get some kills there, but he failed to storm on the right location. A little bit sad, but he's down 56, and he's been disrupting Light's mining. He's been disrupting his economy. He's been disrupting his flow of the game. So Burger's lead is actually growing, not by much, by just a little bit, because the economy is simply bigger, which allows him to just produce a whole lot more units way faster than Light can. Well, Burgersasu has been trying to get control over the sides. Comes in there over the left side yet again. Raids are coming in to try and snipe the shuttles. He's unloading on top of the tanks, but the shuttles do get taken down. Templars on the scene. Storms on the SCVs. SCVs run to safety just on time. 55 stay alive. But it looks to me like Light is currently stuck on a static amount of SCVs. It's been on 57 to 50 to 57 to 55. It's been up and down right around the same point, right around the same amount of SCVs, so it's not really working out that well for him. But he's alive, which you could argue that is all working out for him just fine. But at the moment, I would say Light is not in the position he would like to be. He would like to be a little bit richer, a little bit bigger. But he is healthy. I'd say this qualifies as healthy. He's doing a great job scanning. Let me just hide Burgersasu's vision so we can see what he's scanning. He's scanning the sides continuously, every single time, to see if shuttles are flying in. Every single time he's got energy on the scans, he scans the map. He scans the front, sees that no shuttles. This is important. He scans the front, sees no shuttles, which means the shuttles are coming in right now as we speak. This time around, he just goes right in between both storms by pure chance. That was pure random chance. It was not on purpose. That was just pure random chance, where the SCVs decided to take a path right in between the double storm, or maybe Burgersasu just stormed incorrectly. You could also argue for that to be the truth, or the case. Burgersasu just stormed pretty poorly. Now, this is the point of the game where I would start to worry if I were Light. He's on triple factory, triple startboard. That's not a lot. Okay, that's not a lot. If Burgersasu were to just start throwing units at Light, at some point, Light with only 6 structures for production would simply just fall behind because he cannot keep up with the insane production Burgersasu would have. And Burgersasu's production is actually not that great either. He's got 18 gateways, which is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good to have 18 gateways. You don't need a whole lot more than that. So he cleans out some structures on the bottom corner, doesn't do any economic damage, but Light is on 58 SCVs, and he's not building any additional SCVs at the moment. Maybe he thinks he has more workers than he actually does. Maybe he's focused on defending. I'm not too sure, but I would really like for Light to go to like 75 SCVs. That would be a very healthy number, the exact number you would need. On fastest map, you can produce a little bit more, and having around 75 is the sweet spot. Burgersasu at 94 is definitely a little bit beyond the sweet spot. Anyway, we've got cannons on the bottom, a couple on the middle, a couple on the side. Light is effectively getting limited in his playing field. The raids can no longer just freely fly out of the base and hunt down the shuttles. There are wide open holes right here, but Burgersasu is going to be sending his shuttles to the cannons to protect them from the raids. Goes in over the front, gonna unload behind the depot wall. This might be what breaks Light. Though Burgersasu was not really attacking the supply depots in the front, a little bit of a bad attack. He cleans out everything behind the wall, beside the bunkers, but he's not targeting the supply depots in the front. That was a very bad attack for Burgersasu. Like, behind the wall, the attack was awesome. In front of the wall, the attack was terrible. He should have target fired, clicked on the supply depots, broken through, instead of having the zealots run back and forth in circles in front of the wall, doing effectively nothing. Half of his army was not participating in the fight. So Burgersasu, 94 ropes, he's going to go for all the gas, going to add on more stargates for maybe carriers. It's going to be carriers because you have a fleet beacon on the top, got upgrades are on the way, his ground is on 112, sky is on 110, but level 1 attack is on the way as we speak, and so is level 2 armor. And we will have shield on the way somewhere as well very soon. Got an Arbiter Tribunal, getting double Arbiter Tribunal for double upgrade actually. So Burgersasu is progressing nicely, he's keeping up the pressure, but the pressure hasn't really paid off so far. I would say that at the moment, Light is more so limiting himself than that Burgersasu is limiting him, because Light only has 58 SCVs. And you can see it reflected in his minerals, although he's going for a big attack is coming in. Raids on the scene, there's not much here to defend. Light managed to catch Burgersasu at a pretty bad point in time. There's no Templars at the back. There's unloading some tanks, gonna try to kill probes. Templar doesn't load, Templars are storming. He's taking out the cannons. Did not siege up. So here's the thing. Light was hoping to kill the cannons and then have the cloak raids, in addition with some tank damage, take down the Nexus. But there were some Corsairs, there were some storms. None of that was gonna work. Sadly, it looked to me for a short moment that it might succeed, but in the end, Burgersasu responded exactly as he had to and managed to limit the damage to a minimum. Which now means that Light has to build more factories because the game is not over. He's been waiting with building factories for a very long time. He's on triple machine shop. He's adding on a lot of factories for Vultures and Goliaths, because he's going to be fighting against some carriers. But first we do have a wave of gateway units ready to strike, ready to go in. But first we need 3 more shuttles for a drop. We've got Disruption Web on the way and all the other upgrades as well. We've got a recall, you name it. Burgersasu is upgrading it. He's getting every single upgrade under the sky, under the sun. More cannons on the side. He might build shield batteries here, although I'm not sure if shield batteries were really part of the meta yet in 2019. This replay is from 2019, in May or in April. Unloading on top of the tanks, great unload. But Light responded very quickly and retreats with some micro back to his bunker wall. And there are more tanks, more Goliaths. His upgrades are currently on 2-2, I believe, 2-2. He's getting level 3 attack as we speak. Level 3 armor is a little bit slow. He's got no air upgrades at the moment, but he's not really relying on air anymore. He's going to have to lift up this one starport because he's blocking this access point. Quite annoying, isn't it? When you mess up your SimCity, it's not pretty. Said it so far every single game, Light's SimCity is not pretty. He just throws down whatever he needs. Like, this is entirely blocked off. Look at this. This is entirely blocked off. And he's now in the middle. The one benefit of having only 58 SCVs is that... Yeah, 58 SCVs is that his army is going to be massive. Also, do notice that Burgersasu has 85, now 84. Like, they have inverse numbers. But anyway, carriers are on the scene. We have a lot of observers. We got EMPs. Hits the EMP. Yeah, he needs some shield batteries right about now. He really needs shield batteries right now. Because the carriers are weak if they don't have shield batteries. They need to regain their shields pretty much all the time. He can also kill, at this point, Burgersasu can kill 20 probes and be completely fine. He would have to put some of his probes back on the minerals though, like from the gas onto the minerals. The carriers at the moment are pretty weak, having no shields. The shields do regenerate very slowly, but with his shield battery, it will be very, very quick. Light starts building turrets in the middle of the map to help him in fighting the carriers. He's moving to the middle here to clean out this little bit of control that Burgersasu has to open up the map for him. He's going to do the same here on the bottom, or on the middle right. Set up some tanks right here and kill all those cannons. We've got a proxy gateway base being built on the bottom and here on the 9 o'clock base. So 2 proxy gateway bases that might catch Light off guard. But Light so far is playing this very well. He's not really made any mistakes beside having a small economy, but he's now at the point in the game where his small economy is not really hurting him. The small economy will start to hurt him when he starts losing tanks and Goliaths rapidly. But whether he ever will is the big question. Will Light ever start losing any of his units rapidly? Dark Templar in the front. Vessel is within range to detect it. Dark Templar goes down. Carriers are using the hills to fight against the Goliaths and the tanks. The hills are a very difficult part of fighting against carriers as Terran, but he's gonna have to use scans or you get his vessel a little bit closer. He killed the robos using one tank there to kill the rest. Same here on the middle right. And he breaks into the base, and Burgersasu just stormed all his probes to try and maximize his army size. So he's kind of trying to mimic what Light is doing, having a very small amount of SCVs, in this case probes. Kind of just gets his... Okay, the second stasis was great. The first one got like 7 or 8 interceptors. Still no shield batteries. There's a lot of Goliaths mixed into the stasis. So he's got a superior fighting force at the moment because the tanks can only fight against the ground. So the tanks pull back towards the turrets. Goliaths are coming in to try and save the day against the carriers. We have how many carriers on the scene at the moment? 12 of them, 13, one more in the back. So 13 carriers is pretty strong fighting force. The upgrades at the moment for the carriers though are on 222 against 233, so the Goliath damage is a little bit higher than the interceptor damage, but we still don't have level 3 armor there for Light. He's getting it right now. He's a little bit slow on the armor upgrade. And Burgersasu is burning through his money very quickly. He's getting a huge army. He's not using his proxy bases at the moment, but his army is going to be huge. Bigger than Light's. And Light is now starting to burn through his gas. He got a couple additional refineries to get a little bit more gas income, but being only on 57 SCVs might actually start to hurt him very soon. He's also getting an additional armory, just to be sure, getting airship, air attack upgrades, that's what they call it, air attack upgrades. Okay, Dragoons on the middle, Zealots in the middle, huge army coming in. Zealots are... He's just going to try to run this over with a brute force attempt. The carriers are doing great. The Goliaths can no longer attack the air, and now we might start seeing Light, his limited production ability, start to hurt him. Because he just lost a lot of units on the middle there. A lot of units just died on the middle, and he does not have a lot of production. He has, I'd say maybe 11 or 10 factories. I'd say 11, 12 factories in fact. He's got 12 factories or so. Yeah, that's 12 factories, and 12 factories honestly is not enough against the huge army barging through your front door, tearing down the house, breaking you, kicking you, bruising you, showing you all the corners. Although the carriers are dying, the carriers are taking very heavy fire. They already lost their shields to an EMP, and now they're all dying to the Goliaths. But as the carriers die, the Zealots and Dragoons are coming into the base, and we only have a couple tanks there in the back firing away. Whereas the couple Goliaths in the front are not going to do the trick. Look, you can see it exactly as I foretold, exactly as I predicted. Light's limited production ability, not enough factories, not enough gas, is in fact coming back to hurt him. But it's going to be very close. We have a defensive matrix, we have a very advantageous SimCity here, but more units keep coming in from Burgersasu. If Light wins this, it is going to be very close. And it's going to be because Burgersasu ran out of money to produce more units. But as the Zealots walk all the way around and get on top of the tanks in the back behind that Stargate wall, we might see Light still die. There's a chance he survives, but the chance is getting smaller and smaller. He needs some mines in the front very, very quickly, but the vultures are not yet spawning. One is spawned, but the others have not yet spawned. The tanks are getting stormed and they're dying. There's 2 more tanks there in the back, waiting. One of them is firing, but the other is not sieged up. Yeah, I'm fearing for the worst. Actually, these tanks on the sides and on the hill are helping him out tremendously. I didn't see the tanks behind the hills on the high ground yet, but it's going to be very close. Burgersasu is running out of money. Now the question is, does Burgersasu know that Light is only on 100 supply compared to his own 155? Burgersasu might still tap out here. Oh wait, the shuttles are coming in. There's literally nothing that can stop the shuttle and the Reaver from just flying into the back and killing the SCVs. Although he's flying straight into the shuttles. He just flew right into the shuttles. But look at how many units are coming in. It's not gonna happen for Light. Light is not gonna make it happen. Light really has to beefen up his economy on fastest map. He's basically playing with a normal map economy, and on fastest map you can turbocharge your economy to obscene levels of income and obscene levels of production, and as you can see, Burgersasu just has more gateways to produce from. He can just brute force his way through with superior production because he just has more gateways than Light can keep up with his 12 factories, which have now become like 10, maybe 9. Soon to be maybe 8 or 7. It's just gonna go downhill from here. He's got nothing left in the base. There's something in the back. Couple Marines there in the bunker. Tank goes down. Burger's gonna get taken down. I like calls GG because Burgersasu just out-muscled him. He flexed his biceps and said, "Today's my day, not yours." And he took him down. Not cleanly, not swiftly, but with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a sacrifice of like 50 probes being sent to the Shadow Realms, sent into their depths because he didn't need them anymore. He disposed of the workforce and just decided to go all in on the fighting force, and it worked out. It worked out beautifully. Light got smashed. But I think if Light makes some adjustments, to his play, he can definitely beat Burgersasu, turn against Protoss. Definitely. All the core proponents and aspects and factors are present in his play. He just needs more money, more factories. That's basically what it comes down to. More money. And with that, it for today. We're going to give Burgersasu one more win there on the scoreboard, his very first win, and then we're going to continue on with game number 5 in the next video, because we still have a couple more games left to go. This is not yet the end. Still got some left in the tank. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I am signing out.